Alright, my friends, we have the Harvest Right large freeze dryer in the rack. Vacuum pump here. The only thing that I've opened so far is the vacuum pump and the freeze dryer. Electrician was here. Jared left a little bit ago. I got the power plugged in. Let's look at the very first turn on of this machine. Well, that's underway. Oh, there we go. Ooh, system name, customize. And again, I doubt you'll be able to see it. Customize. Initial freeze. I should probably read the book, huh? I skimmed the book, but I haven't read everything. Oh, so customize is just always there. Not going to hit any buttons yet. Obviously, we've not put it together. Notice it's version 5.1.18. I saw something, read something, don't know. I think there's a newer version. We'll have to look and see. Do we have the most recent version? But we have power. So, let's start looking at all the pieces, parts that came with this machine. Obviously, you got the 5 trays. Obviously, you have the tray drawer. One thing I realized as I was putting this together to make it lighter while we put it in, this ring comes off. I'm sure I'm not the first person to say that, but this is nice hefty rubber, and it just comes off. And then you can wipe it down, clean it, put it back on. Kind of handy, but this ring you have to take off in order to take the trays out, and then there's a cable that you just detach for power for the tray heaters. One of the things that they said in the book was make sure you have a good seal between the door and the ring. One of the things I was thinking about is take a little piece of paper, try it in a couple different spots. When you latch it, does the paper stick? They said something about, and I haven't peeled this off yet, there should be a 3/8 inch where the rubber gets a little flat, and you should see a 3/8 inch or 1/8 inch, I can't remember, I need to go back and reread that, where you can see the rubber smushed, and that's how you know you got a good seal. But Harvest Right is here. Okay, so what do I think about how we got this machine? The way Harvest Right packaged this machine, I think could have been a little better. Not damaged, I can't see any dents or anything, so I guess it's adequate. But I didn't like how it was on a pallet, and then just had some foam at the bottom, and then the box was over top. It was strapped to the pallet, so pallet, foam, machine, straps holding it down. And then the cardboard just slid over top. As much as these machines cost, and I try to avoid dollars on this channel, sure would have been nice to just put little pieces of plastic down the side so that as it wiggled around, there's little styrofoam holding it up against the cardboard. Something silly and simple like that would have been nice. Wasn't there. Whatever. The other thing is on the plug is on the back. I have this up against a wall. I see a lot of people put them in corners, right? You'll have your corner and then the Harvest Right sits, they probably do that because they're trying to demo things and show things. But the plug on the back makes sense. But it'd be nice if maybe they had a little section of the machine that was recessed in so the plug didn't stick out as far. I can't push this up against the wall as close as I would like, the whole rack, because the plug sticks out the back. It'd be nice if the plug didn't stick out the back as much. Maybe that forces me to have airflow on the back, but the fins are on the side. So, whatever. Those are the two things that neither of them major, neither of them showstoppers. Those are just two initial thoughts that come to my mind as I unbox this and we got it up on the rack. The other thing I noticed is, and I have to finish going through the book, the drip tube is actually, there's a little metal hole, and I think that I need to fish a piece out. The drip tube is actually inside. Let's take a look. Nice thing about having a rolly cart. Notice the drip tube. Is it just supposed to hang like that? I mean, it seems kind of willy-nilly just sitting there. Not sure I'm overly fond of how this drip tube sits on here. I can see the tube inside the holes. Maybe if I flipped it on this side. I'm going to put my 5-gallon bucket underneath, so I might take this drip tube and zip tie it down this pole or something, but my bucket's going to be below. But yeah, you got to kind of hold it to open it. Be nice if this fastened somehow. I mean, it's not hard to turn, quarter turn valve, but again, for the price of these machines, why not have something that just sat there and you could stick this to? I mean, I'll have to see, maybe I can come up with something, a little piece of sheet metal or something, just a small 3x3 square that had a cut around it to wedge between the nut here. I don't know. Maybe it's not a big deal, but I don't like how that's willy-nilly. So there's 3 things. Here's what I was talking about. The power plug. The power plug sits out quite a ways. And this, for the pump, is going to stick out as well. You got the 4 screws here and a piece of sheet metal. Could it not be recessed in? There's a ton of space inside this machine. When you look inside of these vent holes, there's not a whole lot back here. I mean, they could take this whole machine and carve the back 12 inches off. Could they not take this metal piece and push it inside 2 inches so that all you had coming out the back were the cords themselves? This first 2 inches was inside the machine, kinda. I mean, I'm not sure what this hole on the side over here is for, but whatever. But anyway, if the machine works as well as it's supposed to, these are very, very minor gripes. I don't even know if I call them gripes, just commentary that maybe the machine could be better in a version 3 or 4 or 5, whatever version they're on. Make this recessed so that it didn't stick out as far and is not susceptible to being hit. Make the drip tube a little more secure so it didn't floppy around, and then just pack the machine up a little better in shipping. Just put styrofoam on the 4 corners. I mean, I don't know how much styrofoam costs, but surely I would have paid an extra $10 to put styrofoam on 4 corners. I don't know if the screen ever turns off. I'm just going to leave it sit like this and see, does the screen have an auto shut off or something, or do I need to reach around behind the machine and turn it off every time it's not running? Let's go look at some of the attachments.